But tonight's show is a special edition. It's the breaking news show. We have some breaking news for you. It's very, very important that we, in fact, tell you what is happening when it comes to the case in court between myself and Kennedy Agyapong. So tonight, I'll be telling you about what is actually happening, what has happened, and what we should be expecting between myself and Kennedy Agyapong in court. Remember, Kennedy Agyapong came to the United States of America and sued Loud Silence TV and Kevin Taylor. He sued us because he felt we had defamed him, defamatory. I think that's what defamation. Sorry, that's was his what was the basis for his court case. Tonight, I'll be telling you about the status of the case. We will not be doing the social media segment, the editorial, and also the phone-ins. Maybe the phone-ins a little bit, but tonight I'm here to read to you the ruling from the court and what the federal court has said. Judge Liam Ogradi has said in this case. So my mission here tonight is to, in fact, inform you or let you know that today we had the ruling from the judge who is actually presiding on this case. I'll be taking my time to read the 8-page ruling for every single individual to also have an idea. This document is a public document. In fact, when you visit pesamonitor.com, I hope they have updated their site, pesamonitor.com, pesamonitor.com. That is pecermonitor.com, pecermonitor.com. You can go there and access. I hope they have updated it, but if they haven't, I think by tomorrow you have the full ruling to read for yourself. So tonight we will just be reading what the judge actually ended up saying to myself and Kennedy himself and his legal team. So I'll not be doing much. I'll not be delving so much, dwelling on it so much. I'm just here to let you have an idea of what's happening. So I'll be reading the 8-page document here for all of us to have an idea of what is happening. So if you watch me tonight, it's quite an interesting one. Majority of people call sometime on our show and they're like, Kevin Taylor, you and Kennedy Agyapong in court, what is happening? I kept avoiding that question because we were in court and you're not supposed to be discussing what's happening in court on your show. And also, I had a very reliable legal team that was handling this. I don't have any legal background, so they had to, in fact, take care of this. Today, I've been given the nod to at least read this public document to the world, to Ghanaians especially, those who are very worried about Kennedy Agyapong and Kevin Taylor's case in the federal court. That's the United States District Court for the Eastern District of Virginia, which is in Alexandria. I will be reading every single thing in this document. I might not get it right. Maybe I might be making some mistakes as I read, but anytime I make a mistake, I'll try my best to go back and correct that mistake. I'll do my best to do justice to this. This evening is it's all about legal issues. It's all about the ruling on the Kennedy Agyapong Kevin Taylor case. Remember, I like to say this on this show, that when we sit on this platform, or journalists like myself go out there to report on stories or try to find facts about stories, majority of the time they go in there with clean heart, clean mind. They just want to find the truth. Now, at the end of the day, all that I keep telling people who watch me is nobody is an enemy. We don't put people in a particular group or in I'm choosing my words very well. No journalist, and I'm speaking for myself here, we don't sit to say this individual is a bad person, this individual is a good person, so we're going to treat this person differently from that person. No, we only follow the facts. And when the facts are there, every good journalist tries their best to make sure that they explain it, they bring it out for the public to, in fact, have those facts to one way or the other, educate themselves. The facts sometimes also protect people. So it's very important for people to understand that We never come on platforms. Journalists don't go out there, put their lives on the line, all because they hate some individuals. They go out there because they want to fight for the people out there. So I would like to say that this is just the beginning of helping the people get into the truth. And I'll always say this, that we should not let people use power or use the judiciary or use anything that they think they have access to intimidate not just journalists, but citizens around the world, in Europe, in America, in Asia. If you know that whatever you are doing, whatever you are pursuing, whatever, especially journalists, whatever story you are actually working on, you should understand that it's about informing the people. It's about educating the people. So you should be at least very. You realize I'm being very careful about what I say, because I want people to understand that majority of the journalists around the world, like myself, there's no agenda against anybody. It's all about going after the fact, all about educating the people, informing the people. So we all have to learn something from this. So we're going to go ahead and read the ruling from the judge. And then after that, I'll open the lines for a few minutes and end today's show. I am not a lawyer. I don't have any legal background to tell you that what the judge said, the details, and trying to bring in the technicalities. My job here is to read what the judge came up with, or his ruling. So I'm not here to do some legal arguments here or try to let you know that I had some law degree. I don't have. I've just written LSAT in my life. I'm not qualified to be a lawyer. What I'm qualified to do now is to read a document that is a public document. I'd like to say hello to a few people who are on this platform tonight. Adiza Umar is watching me this evening. Good evening, Adiza. I can also see Papa Kuju Kosa live on Loud Silence TV this evening. Also, Mabel McNamara is watching Kevin Taylor and the Ghost team. Kwame Lobos is live on Loud Silence TV on Facebook. I can see Treasurer Akweje live here on Loud Silence TV this evening. I can also see Mahindra Mahama watching me this evening. Zublazo is also live here. Mas Babatu is live here on Loud Silence TV. Kwesi Oklu is live watching me this evening. Amadou is here. Jato Francis Jato watching me this evening. Mawena Aduku is also live here. CY Aroma Daily is watching Kevin Taylor and the Ghost team. Rahina Yakubu is live on Loud Silence TV this evening around the world. I would like to say thank you to every single individual here. Good evening to every one of you watching me tonight. The breaking news is simple. The breaking news is about Kennedy Agyapong, who is the plaintiff against Loud Silence Media and Kevin Taylor, who are the defendants. Now, what I'm going to do now is I am going to read the ruling. Now, to sum it up before I start reading, you have to understand that the judge has dismissed the case Kennedy Agyapong took to court. He has dismissed it. Now, but what we need to do is to read for you to also know what the judge actually said, the basis of the case and how he came to his conclusion. And Kennedy has 60 days to, and I'm talking about Kennedy's lawyers, they have 60 days to appeal this ruling. So they still have opportunity to go out there in 2 months to let the judge know whether what he came up with wasn't the right ruling. And this is America. You have the right to appeal if you feel that judgment didn't go well for you. So officially, I would like to tell you that Kennedy Agyapong's case against Loud Silence Media and Kevin Taylor has been dismissed for now. So they have 2 months, 60 days to respond to this. Now, let's read this. I'm trying to be very nice here, and we all have to be nice at a point in life. So this is it. Let's do this. When you take the front page of the ruling, this is what is there. I might get some of the words wrong, but pardon me, I'm Ghanaian. I'm not American. I'm not English. That's not my first language. So I'll do my best to read it the way I can. If I get it wrong, I will try and correct those words. Now, when you look at the case here, I'm saying that the case action number is 1 121CV 1205. 121CV 1205. I hope I got it right. The legal guys, if I got something wrong, just tell me. Now, if you want to also get access to this document from the United States District Court for the Eastern District of Virginia, you can go on pacermonitor.com. pacermonitor.com. When you go there, you will find this. I hope they have updated it, but if they haven't, tomorrow when you go there, you will see the case between Agyapong and Taylor. Now, let's read this for the world to hear. This is strictly the case between myself and Kennedy Agyapong and Loud Silence Media. Wow, Shemino. Maybe some chemo tree kakra na yentoa asem no so. Enyumbre mabaha no case ana between me and Kennedy Agyapong. Your court Kennedy say maka nsem bi egu no ho fia or the 3 count bi e court say in America for NG $9.5 million. Emfiri me ho emfama na if we say me gu no ho fi na judge outna asem no so no ende enode na no asem aba ano asem ode ba and say Kennedy asem no wabo atu egu wama no 60 days say onko na onko hwem say bibi ento na koma so ana say ohu say asem no wabo atu egu no sebio judge no andwini hu ya na say results na ba and he is not comfortable with it. He can appeal his amendments nti enyumbre me pese me kache Ghana fo nyina say Kennedy Agyapong asem ode court no judge no abo atu egu na me ba be read the ewo ni ruling nim se ne be ya obia be hu de judge no ekaye ye wi amebo ne tofa na Ghana fo nyina ehu eye de esi ewo United States of America nti wa hanyumbre ya breaking news no me ba be chechire ma Ghana fo nyina ehu de echo. All right, let's start the case. Now, in the United States District Court for the Eastern District of Virginia, Alexandria Division, Kennedy Ohini Agyapong, plaintiff, Loud Silence Media LLC et al. That is defendants, myself and Loud Silence Media, and ana ye a defender who sa assembly. Now, mama yen kind the judge no atro a 8-page document, so it's going to take a bit of time, but that is what we are doing tonight. We are not doing anything else. After that, the show will end. I'll be back tomorrow to do the normal with all due respect. Now, order, introduction. I say this matter comes before the court on the defendant's motion to dismiss amended complaint. Now, the motion has been fully briefed by the parties and is now ripe for consideration. Background. It says the plaintiff in this case, Kennedy Agyapong, is an individual who is a citizen and a resident of the nation of Ghana. Agyapong is an elected member of Ghana's parliament and is the chair of the board of Ghana Gas Company Limited. The defendant in this case are Kevin Taylor, an individual, and the company Loud Silence Media, LSM. Taylor is a resident of Virginia and currently lives in Alexandria, Virginia. Taylor is the founder and manager of Loud Silence Media, or LSM, which is a limited liability company organized in Virginia and that it has its principal place of business in Alexandria, Virginia. Taylor appears on several news shows broadcast over the internet, website, YouTube, and Facebook. Taylor and LSM produce news media that focuses on the people and politics of the country of Ghana. One of the shows produced by the defendant, let me change it to the second page so that we can follow it. Yeah, there's a second page. Taylor and LSM produce news media that focuses on the people and politics of the country of Ghana. One of the shows produced by the defendant is titled With All Due Respect. Taylor is the host and presenter of this show. The show streams live video broadcast on Facebook and YouTube to a large audience. The plaintiff has alleged that Taylor has made several defamatory statements on this show and further alleges that these false accusations were intended to humiliate and disparage the integrity of the plaintiff. Based on these statements, the plaintiff has filed the current civil action in this court. The first allegedly defamatory statement that the defendant made was an accusation that Agyapong is connected to the 2016 murder of a Ghanaian member of parliament. Taylor has also accused Agyapong of being responsible for the murder of a journalist who had reported on corruption in the Ghana Football Association. Taylor has accused Agyapong of using fake green cards to help Ghanaian citizens immigrate to the United States. Taylor has accused Agyapong of trafficking in illegal drugs. Taylor has accused Agyapong of being addicted to illegal drugs. Taylor has accused Agyapong of financial corruption. Agyapong has alleged that Taylor has repeatedly made the continues to make these statements as recently as September of 2021. Agyapong alleges that Taylor knew these statements were false and that these statements were made knowingly and recklessly. Based on his litany of disparaging remarks, Agyapong has filed the amended complaint with count for defamation per se, and 3, violation of the Virginia computer crime. Page 3. Legal standard. To survive a motion to dismiss under Federal Rule of Civil Procedure, that is 12b-6, a complaint must contain sufficient factual allegations that will state a claim to relief that is possible on its face, if those allegations are accepted as true. Now, a motion is dismissed pursuant to Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 12b-6, that is, must be considered in combination with Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 8a-2, which requires a short and plain statement of the claim showing that the pleader is entitled to relief, so as to give the defendant fair notice of what the claim is and the grounds upon which it rests. When a well-plead complaint only infers, and I quote, the mere possibility of misconduct, end of quote, the complaint does not demonstrate a plaintiff is entitled to relief. And as you can see, they are stating other cases. The judge is stating some cases as references. So those ones, I don't want to talk about it. It's going to slow you down. We are not lawyers. We are reading what is here. Now he goes on to say this. When a well-pleaded complaint only infers, and I quote, the mere possibility of misconduct, end of quote, the complaint does not demonstrate a plaintiff is entitled to relief. Pleading that are merely labels and conclusions will not be accepted as true. District court may also consider materials attached to the complaint so long as their authenticity is not challenged and the materials are integral to or relied on within the complaint. Now, discussion, that is page 3. And this is what is in the ruling. Some of them are very technical, so I have to try and they can try and sound like I know grammar. I'm doing my best here. Page 3. To survive a motion to dismiss under Federal Rule of Civil Procedure, that is 12b-6, a complaint must contain sufficient factual allegations that will state a claim to relief that is possible on its face, if those allegations are accepted as true. No, sorry. Where are we now? Page 3, right? No, sorry, page 4. Sorry, page 4. It goes on to say, as a public figure, Agyapong must demonstrate that Taylor made the allegedly defamatory statement with, in quote, actual malice. It says, as a public figure, Agyapong must demonstrate that Taylor made the allegedly defamatory statement with, and in quote, actual malice to recover damages for defamation. Now, he stated other cases, New York Times, Sullivan, and all that. He went on to say this. Actual malice does not mean that the defamatory statements were spitefully made, but rather it means that the statements were made with knowledge and statement with knowledge. The statements were false, or that the statements were made with a reckless disregard for their veracity. I'm sorry. Let me take this again. Actual malice does not mean that the defamatory statements were spitefully made, but rather it means that the statements were made with knowledge, the statements were false, or that the statements were made with a reckless disregard for their veracity. A reckless disregard is shown when the statements are published, and I quote, with a high degree of awareness, end of quote, that the statements are likely to be false. Now, at the motion to dismiss stage, the amended complaint must allege facts from which the court can infer that Taylor acted with the requisite state of mind. That is, to plead actual malice. Therefore, Fairfax must plausibly allege that CBS, and he's quoting other cases that as references to buttress his point here. That's what I'm saying. It's a bit complicated. Let's take our time and read this. Now, when you go to the next paragraph, it says, Agyapong has not played sufficient factual material to show that the statements were made with actual malice. Agyapong alleges that Taylor knew the statements regarding the murders were false because other individuals were arrested for the murder, and Taylor has not verified a video that was published on his YouTube show. It is true that avoidance of the truth can demonstrate actual malice, but a mere failure to investigate does not demonstrate actual malice. Let me take this line again. It is true that avoidance of the truth can demonstrate actual malice, but a mere failure to investigate does not demonstrate actual malice. Now let's go to page 5. Page 5. It is apparent from the statement themselves that Taylor is referencing that he believes Agyapong is responsible for the murders, not that Agyapong pulled the trigger himself. He says that it is apparent from the statement themselves that Taylor is referencing that he believes Agyapong is responsible for the murders, not that Agyapong pulled the trigger himself. In addition, the YouTube video referenced in the complaint prominently displays a news article that refers to a government investigation into threats that Agyapong made to other journalists. The materials referenced in the amended complaint and the amended complaint itself demonstrate that Taylor had at least some factual basis for his political commentary. The amended complaint only makes conclusion and pleads factual material that challenge the veracity of Taylor's statement. The amended complaint does not plead any factual material that sheds light on Taylor's subjective state of mind. Therefore, the amended complaint and the materials referenced within do not create any plausible inference that Taylor harbors, and I quote, any doubt as to the veracity of the story, end of quote, or to the unverified video's credibility. The pleadings regarding the statement about Agyapong committing immigration fraud are similarly deficient. The amended complaint argues that, and I quote, the crime defendant fabricated and all falsely associated with plaintiff is practically impossible, end of quote. The amended complaint goes on to argue that it is essentially impossible to acquire a fake United States green card because of the sophistication of the United States immigration system. These pleadings do not support any inference into Taylor's state of mind, and at best, they are accusations that he failed to investigate the claims. These pleadings are also conclusory and, as such, need not be considered as true. Without any pleading that could be considered for circumstantial evidence of Taylor's state of mind, the pleading regarding the alleged immigration fraud do not sufficiently allege facts that shows Taylor's reckless intent or otherwise demonstrate actual malice. Page 6. The pleadings regarding public corruption, drug trafficking, and drug addiction similarly do not allege facts that shows these statements were made with actual malice. The pleading that Agyapong was never arrested for drug trafficking and therefore is not a drug trafficker is a conclusion. The pleading that argues Agyapong does not exhibit signs of drug addiction and therefore cannot be a drug addict is a conclusion. The pleading that the supposedly corrupt government contract was publicly available information and therefore Agyapong could not have skimmed public funds is also a conclusion. None of the conclusory pleadings need to be considered true by the court, and furthermore, none of these statements allege any facts regarding Taylor's state of mind at the time he made the allegedly defamatory statement. None of the pleadings demonstrate facts that shows Taylor acted with high degree of awareness of the falsity of his remarks when the statements were made. In Fairfax, the Fourth Circuit rejected the argument that doubt about a witness's credibility made the publication of that witness allegations, and I quote, so obviously doubtful that the news organization was reckless in reporting those allegations. It goes on to say this: as it is the case here, the conclusory pleading only challenge the credibility of Taylor's statement and at best allege a failure to investigate. Accordingly, the amended complaint does not plead any fact that shows the statements were so obviously doubtful that Taylor acted recklessly when making the defamatory statement. Therefore, none of Agyapong's conclusory pleadings imply a plausible accusation that Taylor made the defamatory remarks with actual malice. As Agyapong has not sufficiently pled that the statements were made with actual malice, the claims for defamation and defamation per se cannot be brought against Taylor because Taylor is immune from civil liability under VA Code 801223.2. That is page 7. It says defamation and defamation per se cannot be brought against Taylor because Taylor is immune from civil liability under VA Code 8.01223.2 and the protection granted by the First Amendment of the Constitution. Accordingly, the amended complaint must be dismissed because it does not state a claim upon which relief can be granted. Now you go to the Virginia Computer Crime Act. Agyapong has also claimed damages under the provision of Virginia Code 18 blah 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 to show a violation of this Virginia law. Agyapong must plead facts that demonstrates the requisite element that, and I quote, the accused used a computer or a computer network to communicate obscene language. 3. 1. The accused used a computer or a computer network. 2. To communicate obscene language. 3. With the intent to coerce, intimidate, or harass. Now, obscenity has been defined by the Virginia General Assembly as material that, and I quote, has its dominant theme or purpose an appeal to the prurient interest in sex. That is the Virginia blah blah blah. Explaining that the Virginia General Assembly wrote the statute to comply with the constitutional definition of obscenity articulated by the Supreme Court. Now, the amended complaint contains no pleading that can be constructed to show that Taylor communicated obscene language as defined by the Virginia law. There is no reference to any sexual material in the communication detailed in the amended complaint, and the dominant theme of the disputed communications in no way contains any sexual themes. The allegations within the amended complaint do not support any claim that could be brought under the Virginia Computer Crime Act. Count 3 of the amended complaint must also be dismissed for this reason. Now, page number 8. The final page is this. Conclusion by the judge. It is undisputed that Agyapong is a public figure and Taylor's statements were made regarding matters of public concern. The amended complaint does not plead any factual material that demonstrates Taylor's dispute statements were published with actual malice. Therefore, Agyapong has not adequately plead any actionable claim. Further, the amended complaint does not plausibly state a claim under the Virginia Computer Crime Act. For these reasons, the motion to dismiss the amended complaint, that is DKT 13, is granted, and the above captions civil action is dismissed. The plaintiff has 60 days to file a second amendment complaint if that filing would meet the requirement discussed in this order. It is so ordered. March 21st, 2022, Alexandria, Virginia, Liam O'Grady, United States District Court. Now, the conclusion says it is undisputed that Agyapong is a public figure and Taylor's statements were made regarding matters of public concern. The amended complaint does not plead any factual material that demonstrates Taylor's disputed statements were published with actual malice. Therefore, Agyapong has not adequately pleaded an actionable claim. Further, the amended complaint does not plausibly state a claim under the Virginia Computer Crime Act. For these reasons, the motion to dismiss the amended complaint is granted, and the above captioned civil action is dismissed. The plaintiff has 60 days to file a second amended complaint if that filing would meet requirement discussed in this order. It is so ordered. March 21st, 2022. Signed, Liam O'Grady, United States District Court. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is where we are with the Kennedy Agyapong Kevin Taylor court case. Before I started the show, I said you can access this document. This document will be published on loudsilencenews.com on our website. It will be published on With All Due Respect page on Facebook. It will be published on all our news sites. It also will be published on pesamonitor.com. That's where all the legal cases that have been concluded are published. So when you go to pesamonitor.com, Pesa, PACERMONITOR.com, if it has been updated, because this ruling came today, it takes some time for them to update that system. So if it has been updated, when you go there, you will see this document there. It's an eight-page ruling. We will, after the show, we will publish this document on loudsilencenews.com. It will be published on With Audio Respect page on Facebook. It will be published on all our news outlets. So that is it for now. So Kennedy Agyapong still has the opportunity. If he thinks all that the judge said, some things were not said right, or the facts the judge put there are not things that does not really make sense to him, he can file an appeal. Myself and my legal team, my lawyers, we are on standby to hear from Kennedy and his team. This is America, and you have to understand that the law works, irrespective of who is in front of it. So, to respect to the law, respect to the judge, respect to the judicial system, we wait and see. But as we speak now, the case between myself, Loud Silence, the case between Kennedy Agyapong, myself, and Loud Silence Media has been dismissed. And we wait for Kennedy to take the next action. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all that I will say on this case. Inti, mo asibi obrofo bebreba me kan na monti ase no. Eye Kennedy Agyapong ede me call court no. Ono na ede asem call court se me gu ne ho fi na ope $9.5 million. Court NG na court embua me for na court engu medwuma no ene nsem bebre a ochroye. Ochrochro say me say oton cocaine, me say we ku journalist, me say waye nyoma bebre, o se me the computer abo krono e de acheche nyoma mu ani se de ye. Na judge oti case ne so no ende obaye no ka se nsema Kennedy beto court enim ni nyina no ohwema ba kumponi wa wo embrema sebi obetumi gina so e de akase na asem no sebi etwaye enti otoa so. Awsamuti ase se Kennedy e de asem no e court no or ye amendment ye kase or ye amendment a or de na asem e di nkan court no otwe asem no e na osako eko correct ye sa na betuma kama wate ase ye kase obi di asem akọ na wa ye amendment a ebia asem ode koe no ono adadwene ho no hu se asem ya metwere koe na me lawyers di menim koe sebi ebi wo ho a ento asum ebi wo ho a sebi enya asem a court betumi gina so e di ama me de mepe enti otwe every court e na osako sese mu kotwere oni biem e koe amendment e na osade baaye enti judge ni gina an amendment ne so because first one or trouble no so ode ukoya amendment automatically de wakoya amendment aba no eno na court no ehwe enti court no ejina an amendment no so ana judge ni gina amendment no so ena odibu asem no na de na judge ni kanya se ensama Kennedy kire ye e won amendment mu nyina no enin gina so bia. In fact, in some me kind na do know public in some ye discuss public issues. And when to me answer that and to me and chere adekodi ntia in some me kind no na opeso chere say na adwene bone ana adwene bone bi eta akiri a me pese be good anim ase ana say me ma ne bra basa. Nti judge no etina ka say wakenkan obi ansem yeso ye chere yensem koye and George ne kan yensem and also Kennedy eni asem bia wa ha sebio opeso ka che Kennedy say ensem na odo ba na ensem hunu ontumi ngina so ewa America krowe mu we ye American court sebio we nya Ghana court we ye court a ewa America sebio oma omudi enim no judges no oma ye kukudam oma nhwe wenim ansa no mobu asem sebio ontumi nkofre no baby say ma asem da ha ntibo ame judge fo ye nipa bi a sebio emra ne wa ha ne eye adwuma nti no sebio emfa ho ne wodibre ene sebio bibia odwen se wo omode asem no emra no na omudi enti se court e wo Ghana sebio se woni mobi okota yebetumi bu amawo enti judge na kire se America nan adekodi enti for America ya America ne se eye the upholding the laws of the land no omufendi agro enti eho na asem na kosi enti ne krakra ne se judge na abo Kennedy asem na togu se wama no eye bosumi mienu se onkodwene ho na ode de bibi ogina na ogina Kennedy entuma nkire bibia won nkrate ma kire se o asem papa bi a o se ogina so ono ane pe so persisted days no onye na amendment no onsa amend ana so onya appeal na nhwe na otie the judge ne kan de kasemu na opeso kire na dwene mu fine 100% say there is no way a sebio obi betuma beka bibia kire na a kire say na Sir Kennedy ewo evidence bi a eso chen de odi ba ye ya owo ngina so bi a eso chen de wodi abeya onko famra na nkire say asem no odibem enti me no ka say de eye Kennedy Agyapong ene Kevin Taylor ne Loud Silence Media asema na ewo eye federal court no court judge ye freno eye honorable Liam Ograde wabo asem na togu ena wama asem no o say ye ne ene ye dibem Kevin Taylor ene Loud Silence Media ye dibem se sia de me ene me lawyers ye twen yeso ye fa ho adwene de ye beye sebio me lawyers a omo ye kukudam a omo num mbra no sebio nye dede me lawyers say no se me de omudin to ha na se okogugoro omo a obehu omo nyina obehu adwuma omo ye sebio Kennedy for lawyers ni bi krampa ogugu bebia omo website wa ebi ni website but enye no na hia me sebio ebe hia se nipa omo hwe no ebi abobehu eye lawyers omo die nyina yenim me lawyers no na me law firm no betum de atodwa ma wohu lawyers a omo di menim Kennedy lawyers no ba ko krampo ni website but eno nheda ehia me enye ntimi fan todwa but ebia embre bi bedu no ye de nyina betu dwa se ne be ya ono lawyer na oni website no ofri Bronx Bronx not New York Bronx not enti me boni din kra mamo me hwe ne din kra me sabeka me boni din na ko Google na oni website ye share ni bibia na office wo enti ye be di but ye hwehwem ye nya na website ana ne office address a ye de bebramo but e be sin de ne de ne lawyer na odi free Bronx a odi ne ba eye Virginia ebe pe law firm bi ede omho bo mo se omne enko asem we no the lawyer na nkasa wo Ghana no oni eye website owo free Bronx no Ghana ni no oni website inti ebe din but ye be hwehwem bebia ne office wo bia no ye be ma obia nso aswate inti nyumbre me ba ha. I just wanted you people or Ghanaians to understand say this is what has happened. The court has dismissed Kennedy's case. He has 60 days to come back to let the judge know. Inti as simple as that. Me need any law background. The workrata no so no and I can't share. Me so ochina no. Me sure say and the omo update here about okopesa-monitor.com ubehu this ruling. But the be say ye be publishing an adria tonight. After the show no, Mr. P, Mr. S Dems will take care of this document, the ruling. They'll publish it on loudsilencenews.com for every single person to have access to this public document. And that is what we will do. I will take a short break. When I come back, I will pick 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 phone calls and end today's show. All right.
Exclusive interview with Evelyn Sewabroni, 29th March 2022, on With All Due Respect Loud Silence TV. Exclusive interview with Evelyn Sewabroni, 29th March 2022 on With All Due Respect Loud Silence TV.
I pick my phone calls as some of you can a show and then it is their opinion. It is not opinion of Loud Silence Media. We will not bear anything. We'll be free to comment on this ruling, Biano, that person's opinion. And I want to make that clear. Hello, caller.
Hello, Kevin.
Yes, sir. Good evening. Go ahead.
Good evening. Shop, Kevin. Timeka de Yamena Obo Humbai. I am Pedasin Obo Humbai. Yamishra, no bomb, but Mosa. I mean, File Oka. Yamishop.
I mean, Inshallah. So thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
So I am a dear boy, I
would like to say good evening to Mustik Lawa. He has been very, very helpful. He has been the bedrock when it comes to everything. I'm not here to single people out, but I would like to say thank you very much to Mustik Lawa. I keep mentioning Mustik Lawa's name on my show. I'm unphoning, but he's the man. He's a mentor. People don't know him, but he's a strong force, and he's somebody I will always say, I will always appreciate. Into wherever you are, Mustik Lawa, I don't know who Ghana is here, you are home. So I'd like to say good evening, wherever you are. I'll give you a call, and you are a rock that at this point I will not neglect any day. So Mustik Lawa, hello, I'll get back to you, and then we will talk. All right, thank you very much. My main empha another call. Na yenkuyenim. All right. Hello, caller. Hello?
Hello, Gavin.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah. Good evening.
Good evening, boss.
You live in a country, I heard you mraya juma. Yani di eti ya fumu, and your fumu ni eti. Judge, no, a passing the judgment based on say unimuno. And only country I need.
Yeah, my main can be who saw the way about out. So some people on YouTube, social media, can't sembi say Mema kutia sikebia or judge be or court to be my seminal ye dinner Friday. No, that person should be ready to come to the federal court to prove that. I mean, can't some we be.
That's right.
We be on YouTube. Ebetina YouTube. Eka say case na last Friday. I was saying keko court na ye nyanko court no. Make Kevin Taylor. Makwa akutia court ho so makutie sika ma judge so makutie sika ma court no ma asem no yam kan el Friday. Sani panasa no kan it is on record. Unprepared no for federal action because we are talking about the United States court. Asem e court no so wetumi nya sa conclusion no e was sa fact no say me enemy legal team Yakoma judge Biska and Antina case number so Friday. Be ready for the consequences because I will not let this go. I respect the laws of this land and I respect the judiciary in America and I'll protect the judiciary. It is said, if you know you came on YouTube, Facebook to make those emphatic statements, be ready. I will spend my last dime to make sure the law on this land deals with you. Boss Kasa.
The American can want to say, almost say Ghana, aye, or my beer, and Mraya Juma Wumpa, said the Mraya Juma US now. This time, Sani Paye Bonidi, Gone Nama Bonting. Our Homenia men from Upper Baby. No, because there were evidence be brewa, say Nipano, say, ni why. But because I am yet here for Muntino, one and or walk just or walk freely. Ubian country, Utmi can sembia or Ghana ni mufan with Dikwa. Ubian and show to me what show be pictures or live television. I'm a Nipanos your kuno. And you are telling me, say, when you're guilty of this. And say Nipano one in numbers, one in country. we thank God say we have a country like America. Kevin, mamin can we name venture to Yankupon de America is you. Say America venture Oma woman be any area singina on fast our mind so venture Obia and Kamanfu be best so. Just say Oma Omwa modern whisker come to media sengo phobis sono. Almost science phone in America, Nankupon this are on mine or areas.
Let me show. Thank you. All right. What is coming is big, and some people don't know. Hello, caller.
Good evening.
Good evening, boss.
Because I'm body referee depending ka.
Eba chakasa.
Odi nyame ase se Nankupon adi enwo fofie. Nti nyame ka ho wate. Nyame tumi nti bibia no ho abeto e wa brabom.
Thank you. All right. Hello, caller.
No. Good evening, boss.
Yes, sir.
Bibia Boko.
Yes.
And dear very no say now on protect too.
Sako line and wow.
Duka share me share. Do wanda zai nufi Kevin Taylor da wani shari Allah ka sa ya koma bisa kanshi. Kevin Taylor ma wasa suna mi bonfire ma yau.
Bonfire.
Why? Ma wasa suna mi bonfire ma yau.
Bonfire.
Why?
Yo.
ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين.
Amen. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. I mean, but I say, all right. Let me pick another call. One phone pen one line Mom for other line number. No, you should understand. Say one line there. Hello, caller. Hello. Okay, I think the line no M1. No, I'm here submit for another caller. Hello, caller. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Yeah. Fine evening. Nyamias. Sɛ nyame de wakɔsa de waba somdwem na wei deɛ ɛnyɛ wo nkwa na wadi nkonim o ɛyɛ loud silence media fo na adi nkonim nyame ɔmbɔ ho ban ɔnhyɛ wo den na ne ɛbɛsi wakwan biara nyame ɛnyi wo mfirim ɛda wase sɛ wadi nkonim. Bye bye.
That's it. Thank you. All right. Hello, caller.
Hey, Kevin.
Yes, sir.
Kevin, this is your brother, the undisclosed police officer in California. Yeah, I know Mena Okasaye for the first time, and I humbly want to congratulate you and your team for that kind of tenacity, respect, and calmness. Even seeing you presenting this whole case today humbles me a lot. Makase, you have 100% and more of my respect. Mamin kasem kitwa binchire nipa e woswa etie. This is the reason why we have to support this cause and we have to donate. I am begging everybody. Kevin, may a sustaining member of MPR, okay? And today, I am withdrawing that my sustaining member and I'm becoming a sustaining member of your channel.
Thank you very much.
I am making this an emphatic statement because this is some of the things we have to do. If they can pick my number or I can inbox you on Facebook.
Yeah, my personal page, my Kevin Taylor page, okay. Just go there.
I will do it. Let me know so I can join your sustaining member team. I want to do everything to sustain this, and I'm going to champion the cause. Every day that I budge into this, the only thing I will say, I will forget about what the matter is, and I will plead with Ghanaians. sɛ Kevin ɛnni hɔ na bisa wo ho sɛ information a yɛnya nyinaa no he ɛna wokɔ akɔfa no ɛhe ɛna wokɔtie yɛn nyinaa yɛnim deɛ ɛkɔ so mede me mogya ato hɔ ama ɔman ne da. I have served in the country. I know what goes on. Yɛmu binom wɔ hɔ a yɛntumi nkasa but sɛ